Chapter 2271. Left to their own devices. Chapter 2271. Left to their own devices at once. The situation became very complex. The spectral soul demon, Venerable, broke through the heavenly chasm and chased after them. Fairy Ziwei and Ingwu Xie were trapped in the middle. Heavenly Court's 3 immortals, golden-hooped great immortal, 7 fiendish primeval monarch, and Duke Mei stood in front of the shadow sect members, while Feng Jiuge was indeed hiding nearby like what Fairy Ziwei predicted. If spectral soul demon Venerable had his sanity, Feng Jiuge would not do this. That was too risky. Fairy Ziwei was really only trying her luck earlier. She could not be certain of Feng Jiuge's location. This was only a possibility she deduced. After all, Feng Jiuge did not kill them, but used a method on them. This meant that Feng Jiuge wanted to make use of the 2. Fairy Ziwei was in a desperate situation. She had to use all the methods she could think of. In that situation, Feng Jiuge became her hope. But Feng Jiuge showed no signs of helping. He squinted as he looked at the 2 shadow sect immortals from afar. He sighed internally. It is useless. I can already hear the cries of your destiny. Even though it has some turbulence, it is en route to the abyss. The outcome has been decided. During this period when he went missing, he had been cultivating the killer move Destiny Song. He made a lot of progress. Spectral soul demon Venerable's left head growled as soul balls appeared out of nowhere, but the soul balls had tiny tadpole-like tails behind them as they quickly got close to Fairy Ziwei and Ingwu Xie before exploding intensely. Fairy Ziwei and Ingwu Xie could not resist them. Their souls shook and almost shattered on the spot. Attack. At the other end, Duke Mei was the first to use his killer move. Golden-hooped great immortal and 7 fiendish primeval monarch followed closely after. I am going to die. Ingwu Xie's expression was ashen. How can this be? At the next moment, Fairy Ziwei's expression turned to shocked, because the Heavenly Court Immortals' attacks were not aimed at them, but spectral soul demon Venerable instead. They resisted the soul ball method while helping to defend the Shadow Sect Immortals. Heavenly Court was saving the Shadow Sect Immortals. Even a wisdom path great expert like Fairy Ziwei was stunned. Don't tell me. Because Star Constellation Immortal Venerable revived, she is allowing me to return to Heavenly Court in exchange for betraying Master? Or maybe they want to capture the crucial split soul, Ingwu Xie, to use a method against Master? Methods to create clones were convenient, but they also exposed a weakness in this world. Nothing was perfect. With benefit came cost. Clone methods had many demerits. The main thing was that their connection to the main body could be exploited. Spectral soul demon Venerable's split soul had a weakness that was exposed long ago. It was the sharing of attainment level. It was an advantage and also a disadvantage. When spectral soul demon Venerable's clone created sovereign immortal fetus goo, a vast amount of attainment levels were expended, forming dream realms. This caused spectral soul demon Venerable's own attainment level to fall as well. Regardless of the intention of the 3 Heavenly Court Immortals, the Shadow Sect Immortals had survived because of them. Far away, Feng Jiuge shook his head. Be it the Shadow Sect Immortals or Heavenly Court's 3 Immortals, their efforts were all in vain. As expected, the number of soul balls continued to increase. They grew to a scale that the 5 Immortals had trouble defending against. Be it Fairy Ziwei or Duke Mei, they were all in desperation. Is this the might of a Venerable? Spectral soul demon Venerable has lost his senses and even has such heavy injuries. Damn it. The Heavenly Court Immortals could not save the Shadow Sect Immortals. They were implicated instead and became spectral soul demon Venerable's next targets. At the next moment, a huge number of soul balls would explode intensely and take the lives of these 5 immortals. At this moment, Feng Jiuge's expression changed. Oh. At this moment, he felt a vast power rampaging into the battlefield. This was the power of Luck Path. It was grand and vast. Luck Path is the representation of uncertainty. This power was initially small, but as the Luck Path Dao marks in the 2 heavens grew, a huge variable was created. Who is the source of this? Feng Jiuge pondered deeply. The power of Luck Path was so grand it was on par with a rank 9 killer move. Crack. The power of Luck Path changed the 2 heavens. It changed the entire battlefield. Originally, the 2 heavens were fusing together, Black heaven and white heaven were joining together peace and peace that the five immortals were in the area of. White heaven. But now, the immemorial black heaven fragment flew towards them from afar. That white heaven had abundant light path down marks, while black heaven had more dark path down marks. Because of the conflict of down marks, as the immemorial black heaven approached, white heaven's fragment shattered that a large number of black and white heaven fragments created a huge current. If the current swept like a torrent, bringing spectral soul demon venerable along with it. Without spectral soul demon venerable's control, the soul balls stayed at their spots without moving or exploding. We need to go. Using this chance, Fairy Z-Wei brooding Wu Xia along as they flew into the immemorial black heaven that was right beside them. Wait. The three heavenly court immortals quickly chased them. Spectral soul demon venerable was swept away by the two heavens current, but after it weakened, he was freed again. Spectral soul demon venerable was covered in injuries currently. Heaven path down marks were carved all over his injuries. There were even fragments of the two heavens stabbed into his body. It was as if he was stabbed by countless mirrors, because he was far away and due to the heaven path down marks on his injuries. Spectral soul demon venerable could no longer sense Wu Xia. He was senseless and could not use investigative or tracking methods. Spectral soul demon venerable roared in anger and vented for some time before he was lured towards a nearby grotto. Heaven. This was flickering light grotto heaven. Inside, the leader of flickering light grotto heaven, Gu immortal Liang Jingjing, was already trembling and feared in the past. With flickering light grotto heaven hidden and condensed into a tiny spot, spectral soul demon venerable would not be able to find it in his current state. But now, the fusion of the two heavens had reached the most intense moment. As a heaven vein node, flickering light grotto heaven was affected by it and got exposed to the outside world. Alliance leader, save me. Liang Jingjing did not hesitate. She quickly asked Fang Yuan for help. I am willing to contribute light heaven for a large amount of contribution points in exchange for Lord Alliance leader's help to save my flickering light grotto heaven. Liang Jingjing screamed out in terror, light heaven. Fang Yuan quickly received Liang Jingjing's distress message while he was unsealing the truthful floating ice. That after receiving the letter, he learned of light heaven. The flickering light grotto heaven had devoured many fragments of the immemorial nine heavens, but its inner space was still too small. That a certain generation's flickering light grotto lord came up with a brilliant plan to develop the grotto heaven. That was to create an artificial heaven. That was the source of light heaven. From then on, the generations of Gu immortals of flickering light grotto heaven spent their lives to work on this grand plan, contributing everything into this. They collected heavenly light and refined them carefully, slowly expanding the light heaven of flickering light grotto heaven. Its current size had already surpassed the original space of flickering light grotto heaven itself. Fang Yuan quickly considered this. That his original plan, it was to let Zhan Bu stabilize the immortal aperture while he built more resource points and created more Dao veins. After that, he would absorb the primordial domain and gain a huge boost of attainment levels. With the attainment levels and stabilize the sovereign immortal aperture, he would be able to annex more grotto heavens of the two heavens. In the current situation, flickering light grotto heaven was going to be destroyed. Fang Yuan's plans were unable to keep up with the development of events. Fang Yuan was currently only a master in light path. If he wanted to defend flickering light grotto heaven, he would need to fight against spectral soul demon venerable. If the battle becomes too intense and obscured heavenly secret fails, he would be exposed, causing giant sun immortal venerable and star constellation immortal venerable to attack him at the same time. And most crucially, against other venerables, Fang Yuan did not have much of an advantage. Even though he had two rank 9 immortal Gu, he had not created complementary killer moves to use them with. He also had refinement path as his main path. It was not specialized in fighting. If the venerables end up fighting, I only have an advantage in immortal essence. However, if they join up to suppress me, my immortal essence will be countered by their sheer number. I cannot save flickering light grotto heaven. Fang Yuan decided to abandon flickering light grotto heaven resolutely. Lord Alliance leader, this light heaven is incredibly valuable. If you place it in the sovereign immortal aperture, it will be a great addition. Liang Jingjing urged. This was the only thing that she could offer to Fang Yuan now. Lord Alliance Leader, can you hear me? Please reply to me. Liang Jingjing stomped her feet in anxiety. But now, spectral soul demon venerable had already arrived. With a loud sound, he destroyed the grotto heaven's entrance. Hundreds or thousands of arms entered the immortal aperture. Wherever they went, lives were slaughtered. Nobody could defend against the might of the venerable. Liang Jingjing had to hide in light heaven. While she cried and sought help from Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan had an indifferent expression. He knew that this decision would affect his prestige, but fighting against spectral soul demon venerable was even worse. These subordinates were only tools in his contest against the venerables. He would not sacrifice his own benefits for just one of these tools. Chess pieces were pieces because they were meant to be used. They were also meant to be discarded when necessary. Fang Yuan, I hate you. I hate you. How dare you call yourself great love, immortal venerable? I was wrong about you. You are leaving us to die. You are not fit to be the alliance leader. Liang Jingjing cursed in despair, but at this moment, Fang Yuan showed a joyful expression. He had reached a qualitative development in unsealing the truthful floating ice. His heaven path attainment level reached Grandmaster. The number of heaven path Tao marks rose drastically, while other paths attainment level also grew slightly. And most importantly, he gained heavenly secret goo's rank 9 recipe, rank 9 heavenly secret goo. This was an unexpected gain for Fang Yuan. Even someone like him could not help but feel his eyes light up. It was really wise to not save flickering light grotto heaven. That was close. If I had interfered to save flickering light grotto heaven, it would trigger a battle between venerables later. I would have been a step away from obtaining rank 9 heavenly secret immortal goo's recipe. This immortal goo recipe came at the perfect timing. It was very useful to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan immediately decided that his third rank 9 immortal goo would be heavenly secret. Chapter 2272, Doing Everything to Help. Qin Dingling and Jun Xinguang flew rapidly along the way. Ever since Qin Dingling used her luck path killer move, the two of them had a smooth journey with nearly no hurdles. Jun Xinguang sighed in admiration and praised it many times. Qin Dingling explained, "The might of the move far exceeded my usual limits. I have already comprehended a part of the reason for the resonance with heaven and earth." Back then, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable placed Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace in Northern Plains Black Heaven. It was there for 300,000 years. In these 300,000 years, Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace had been exerting its effect to lay out luck path down marks, spreading nearly throughout the entire immemorial Black Heaven. Precisely because of this terrifying accumulation, it caused us to fail and suffer huge losses when Central Continent invaded Northern Plains to try and take fortune rivaling Heaven Goo. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had already predicted that the two heavens would fuse. Thus, he moved Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace away and used it in the battle in Crazed Demon Cave. But the 300,000 years of accumulated luck path down marks are all carved in Northern Plains immemorial Black Heaven. Furthermore, the number is too vast to imagine. After the two heavens fused, both black and white heavens broke into countless fragments off various sizes. This caused the luck path down marks to spread out as well. Jun Xinguang asked, "So why did your luck path killer move get amplified by these luck path down marks? Is it because a move was made by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable?" Qin Dingling had a grim expression. "If that is so, this will be part of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's scheme. But this is quite unlikely, because I have already asked Star Constellation Immortal Venerable about it. She told me that these luck path down marks are natural down marks. They do not belong to Giant Sun Immortal Venerable." Jun Xinguang was more confused now. So why was there a resonance? Qin Dingling shook her head. "Forget about this for now. The matter at hand is to recruit Flickering Light Grotto Heaven." Regarding this, Jun Xinguang was even more confident than before. Lady Qin Dingling's luck path killer move is unparalleled. In my opinion, we will definitely succeed this time. A while later, the two immortals got close to Flickering Light Grotto Heaven. They were shocked to see that spectral soul demon venerable was rampaging inside Flickering Light Grotto Heaven. He did not enter the grotto heaven physically, but he broke the grotto heaven door and extended hundreds of arms inside to slaughter and destroy everything he could reach, be it mortals or immortals. It was a cruel sight. Qin Dingling went into a daze. She had never expected such a thing to happen. The immemorial. Two heavens were too huge that it was very improbable for spectral soul demon venerable to find trouble with flickering light grotto heaven at this very moment. Jun Xingguang's mouth opened wide as he stared at spectral soul demon venerable before turning around to look at Qin Dingling with a complex expression. He seemed to be asking, "Is this the effect of your luck path killer move?" Qin Dingling coughed and said awkwardly, "Spectral soul demon venerable is a venerable. Even if my luck path method was amplified by the resonance of heaven and earth, it should not have such an immense effect." Jun Xingguang was dazed. What should we do? They had originally planned to recruit profound literature grotto heaven, but old immortal Huayu displayed the specialty of an information path expert. He hinted to them that if they could recruit flickering light grotto heaven, he would join them Oswell. But now, after Qin Dingling and Jun Xingguang took the time to travel all this way to flickering light grotto heaven, they found that flickering light grotto heaven was about to be destroyed by spectral soul demon venerable. Quickly escape. Grotto Lord, let us draw the attention of spectral soul demon venerable. Flickering light grotto heaven is going to be destroyed, but your immortal aperture and our clansmen are all alive. Please, you need to think of the big picture. At this time, 6 Gu immortals flew out of flickering light grotto heaven. Rank 8 light path Gu immortal Liang Jingjing was covered in heavy injuries. She was flying away in tears now, as the other Gu immortals used their lives to defend her. However, even if spectral soul demon venerable was not sane now, he was still a venerable. He had overwhelming killing intent, seeing that these Gu immortals were trying to escape. He followed his instincts and tried to kill them. The Gu immortals of flickering light grotto heaven were in imminent danger. A chance. Jun Xingguang shouted uncontrollably. So that's it. Qin Dingling understood at once. So this is the true effect of my luck path killer move. Often, precious opportunities were hidden in dangerous situations. Let us help you. Qin Dingling shouted and made him move first. Jun Xingguang quickly followed after her. The Gu immortals of flickering light grotto heaven were initially fearful. According to their current faction, they were enemies. But after realizing that the heavenly court immortals were really helping them, these Gu immortals developed an intense feeling of joy and gratitude. Eventually, with the help of Qin Dingling and Jun Xingguang, the flickering light grotto heaven Gu immortals managed to escape. Of course, they paid a huge price for this. Qin Dingling was lightly injured while Jun Xingguang was heavily injured. Only 3 Gu immortals from flickering light grotto heaven were left. One was unconscious while 2 were heavily injured. This is the power of a venerable. We had no way to retaliate. Jun Xingguang sighed. Although he was safe now, he still sighed while feeling lingering fear. He was a rank 8 expert, but when chased by spectral soul demon venerable, he was fragile as a baby. And this was when spectral soul demon venerable had no sanity. His actions were akin to a soul beast. If spectral soul demon venerable chased after us with all his strength, we would not have survived. Thankfully, his attention was mostly on flickering light grotto heaven. He only Casitas for a while before returning to destroy the grotto heaven. Qin Dingling said, "Sigh. Our homeland, of the 3 Gu immortals of flickering light grotto heaven, one was unconscious while 2 had pale expression. They had a heavy mood and felt deep sadness, pain, anger, and helplessness that could not be concealed. You have my condolences. Venerables are invincible, while us rank 8s are ants. It was already our great fortune to have been able to escape." Qin Dingling consoled. Liang Jingjing suddenly bowed and paid respects to Qin Dingling and Jun Xingguang. "I will never forget the debt of saving our lives. We were enemies, but you risked your lives to save us. Such righteousness and magnanimity is truly astounding. We are in deep awe. Heavenly Court is truly the leader of humanity. You will forever be the #1 force in the world. Compared to you, it is truly the biggest irony that our alliance leader called himself Great Love Immortal Venerable and created the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance." Speaking of Fang Yuan, Liang Jingjing felt immense hatred. Qin Dingling and Jun Xinguang looked at each other, seeing the joy in each other's eyes. The other Gu immortal from Flickering Light Grotto Heaven, who was awake, said, "Friends from Heavenly Court, our Grotto Lord is not a scheming person. Fang Yuan had really gone overboard. We had already asked him for help. We placed Light Heaven and Treasure Yellow Heaven and transacted it to him. But he took our Light Heaven and ignored our plight. He showed no intentions of helping us, had directly abandoned us. We are his subordinates. We are members of his Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Such an action is truly disappointing and shameful. To think that we believed he would change his ways and become righteous after becoming venerable." Qin Dingling and Jun Xinguang were very happy now. Even without them saying anything, the Gu immortals of Flickering Light Grotto Heaven were already hinting that they wanted to jump ship and join them. Lady Qin Dingling's luck path killer move is truly profound and mystical. Jun Xinguang praised internally. Qin Dingling had a solemn expression. "I won't hide this from you. We came here because of ascertained reason." Next, Qin Dingling explained the details of why she came. She even requested for Liang Jingjing to help convince old immortal Huayu. After hearing her words, Liang Jingjing and the rest were also quite joyful. They had no choice now but to try to join Heavenly Court. They were very uneasy about betraying Fang Yuan, that if Fang Yuan came to them to settle the score, they would be in trouble. Even if Star Constellation Immortal Venerable could block Heaven Refining Demon Venerable for some time and protect, how could she guard them forever? If Fang Yuan bore hatred and wanted to kill these traitors, he would have the initiative. He could attack any time he wanted to. If he attacked on a random day, the Gu immortals of Flickering Light Grotto Heaven would not be able to block him or wait for reinforcements. They were absolutely sure of that now, because earlier, they saw the terrifying might of Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. He was just a senseless venerable if he had sanity. If their enemy was Fang Yuan instead of Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, that would be incredibly terrifying. These Gu immortals had no way of escaping at all. The Gu immortals of Flickering Light Grotto Heaven confirmed that they were betraying him now. In that case, they needed more traitors on this ship so that his attention would be split among them. Thus, Liang Jingjing did not even care about her injuries. She decided to go with Qin Dingling to try and convince old immortal Huayu at Profound Literature Grotto Heaven. The group met with old immortal Huayu as they conversed secretly. Qin Dingling spoke convincingly. Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable has already deduced the result. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable seem to be roaming aimlessly and causing destruction. But there is a pattern with his actions. He is destroying the pillars that hold up immemorial white heaven. For example, the Heavenly Chasm, Heavenly Pillar, or even Heaven Vein nodes like Flickering Light Grotto Heaven. Your Profound Literature Grotto Heaven is the same as Flickering Light Grotto Heaven. You are both Heaven Vein nodes of immemorial white heaven. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable will definitely come to destroy Profound Literature Grotto Heaven in the future. Liang Jingjing added, "Old immortal Huayu, we've known each other for many years. You've seen what happened to me. Fang Yuan abandoned us. He even took away our light heaven. He's cold, cruel, and shameless to the extreme. Do you want to entrust your life to such an alliance leader? You have to decide now. Once Spectral Soul Demon Venerable comes to find you, it will be too late for Profound Literature Grotto Heaven to relocate." Chapter 2273, Giving Heavenly Court 2 slaps. Old immortal Huayu was convinced. He gritted his teeth and said, "Does Heavenly Court have a way to relocate my Grotto Heaven?" Qin Dingling smiled lightly. "Of course we do. The foundation of Heavenly Court cannot be matched by Longevity Heaven or Fang Yuan. Believe me, joining Heavenly Court is the wisest decision." Old immortal Huayu sighed deeply and replied, "This is a huge matter. Do allow me to return to the Grotto Heaven and hold a meeting with the other Gu immortals. We will wait here for the good news." Qin Dingling showed a very understanding demeanor after old immortal Huayu returned to the Grotto Heaven. He assembled the immortals and explained the situation to them. Although they were shocked, after 3 days and nights, they all agreed with old immortal Huayu's decision to switch sides to Heavenly Court. Li Xiao Bai was among them. He also agreed to join Heavenly Court, but he was feeling nervous internally that if star constellation Immortal Venerable used an investigative method on him, she might find out his relationship with Fang Yuan. But he was just one person. While the intention to join Heavenly Court had already been acknowledged among everyone, old Immortal Hua Yu led the immortals out of the grotto heaven. They met with Qin Dingling and Jun Shunguang. Good, good, good. Qin Dingling welcomed them as she said, "Everyone, by joining the right side, not only will you gain immense benefits, you will also create a brighter future for your descendants." Old Immortal Hua Yu followed. "Indeed, we should share such joyful news with others that I hope Lady Qin Dingling and Lord Jun Xinguang can help. I am willing to take a risk and rescue more friends from this demonic heaven and earth great love alliance." Qin Dingling and Jun Xinguang heard his words and laughed joyfully, with old Immortal Hua Yu taking the lead, and an example like Liang Jingjing, because Qin Dingling also used a luck path killer move earlier. Their journey in convincing the rest to join them went smoothly. Several days later, nearly all of the human forces of the two heavens grotto heavens had betrayed Fang Yuan. They went to join Heavenly Court to speak the truth. Qin Dingling had only planned to recruit old Immortal Hua Yu, but after they took action, the results were actually much better than expected. Such news could not be hidden. Soon, the entire 5 regions Gu immortals went into an uproar. Heavenly Court is still Heavenly Court. After all, Fang Yuan suffered a loss again. Earlier in Western Desert, Heavenly Court won and forced Fang clan to sell all their resource points as they fled from their territory. Now, Fang Yuan's influence in the two heavens has mostly been uprooted by Heavenly Court. Even though Fang Yuan is a venerable, he cultivates refinement path. A star constellation Immortal Venerable is a wisdom path venerable. She is most skilled at plotting and making use of people's feelings. To speak the truth, I can understand why they chose to join Heavenly Court. After all, Fang Yuan did nothing and allowed Spectral Soul Demon Venerable to slaughter and cause destruction in the two heavens. This is not what a leader should do. There are even rumors that Fang Yuan took Liang Jingjing's light heaven without helping out. The Gu immortals discussed among themselves every action of a venerable, no matter how small, was a huge matter in the Gu immortal world. It would draw the attention of everyone that many people started to guess what Fang Yuan would do now. Would he take revenge? Would he take action to pursue those grotto heaven forces that betrayed him? Or would he just take this loss silently? If I were him, I would definitely take action. Traitors need to be punished. If they have an easier life after this, what will the other members of the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance think? If they can betray him so easily, aren't they simply disregarding the status of Great Love Immortal Venerable? Maybe they are just bullying Lord Fang Yuan for being a newly advanced venerable. How can the pride of a venerable be provoked so easily? Soon, waves of discussion erupted, becoming the main topic of Treasure Yellow Heaven. Wu Yong smiled coldly. He did not need to guess to know that this discussion was driven by Longevity Heaven. If he could force Heaven Refining Demon Venerable and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to enter battle from this, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable would benefit immensely. Fang Yuan will not make a move. I know him too well. Wu Yong looked in the direction of Eastern Sea as he sighed deeply. If it were him, he would not do anything either. If a move was made, Fang Yuan would need to fight against Spectral Soul Demon Venerable. This was extremely disadvantageous. With the contest of 3 venerables, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable clearly has the upper hand. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable and Giant Sun Immortal Venerable have their stronghold respectively, while Fang Yuan lacks in this aspect while also having the least immortal essence. In this situation, he needs to be even more vigilant. If he takes action abruptly, he will likely be disadvantaged even further. The rumors should be true. Fang Yuan took the light heaven but did not help her in this aspect. I cannot compare to him. Comparing himself to Fang Yuan, Wu Yong reflected upon himself and felt that his shamelessness was still not enough. He had much to learn. What were reputation and prestige? They were just elements that were necessary to survive or gain victory. If reputation or prestige were not useful for survival or claiming victory, then they should be discarded immediately. When it was time to be shameless, one needed to be resolutely shameless. It is time. It is time to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Bright light flickered in Wu Yong's eyes continuously to right when everyone thought poorly of Fang Yuan and felt that he was the weakest among the three venerables. Wu Yong made a decision that was the opposite of everyone else. Fang Yuan accepted it without hesitation. That once news spread, Southern Border's Gu immortal world became shocked, the entire 5 regions Gu immortal world was shaken. Fang clan who joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance lost their territory and had to flee. A large number of super forces in the 2 heavens also left the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. That in this situation, Wu clan went against the trend and publicly joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. This was a questionable action that drew disdain from others. Southern Border's Gu immortal world was shaken. Doubts towards Wu Yong soon rose and erupted into a storm. But Wu clan, who was at the center of the storm, stayed united against all resistance. No matter how they were targeted, they remained unmoving like a monolith, showing no weaknesses at all. Back in Western Desert, Southern Border's Wu Yong. I've heard of his name long ago, but his courage and foresight are truly admirable. Fang Gong said in amazement. Fang Dichong nodded. I wonder how much benefits he obtained from Fang Yuan by using the entire Wu clan as the stake to publicly join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Regardless of the results, this is a grand leader with huge ambitions. Wu clan has been Southern Border's #1 superforce for a long time, but they still made such a risky move that my Fang clan is far inferior to Wu clan to begin with. So how can we not have the same resolve as them? Fang Huasheng smiled. Third Supreme Elder is right. Our Fang clan has already rested sufficiently. All sorts of resource points have been transacted for immortal Gu. Fang and Lei and Fang Chun have also returned already, and our immortal Gu houses have been improved further. It is time to take action. Fang Lung shouted with great enthusiasm. Fang clan lost all their territory. They became a roaming force without a base. But in this situation, youngsters like Fang Lung grew up and matured rapidly. They became more proactive and enthusiastic. Fang Dichong looked towards the other Gu immortals as he said, "What do you think? I think we can make a move now. If we stay cooped up in here, I feel like I will turn rusty soon. We need to show those super forces that bullied our Fang clan that there is a huge price to pay for provoking us." After seeing that their Gu immortals had high morale, Fang Gong became very happy. Good. We will teach them a lesson that they will never forget. The first Supreme Elder showed a clear attitude. Fang clan's immortals had shining eyes as their expressions became even more heated. Fang Dichong nodded lightly and tossed out an information path Gu worm, which turned into a map in the air. We will target this place. The immortals looked and had a change of expressions. They did not think that Fang Dichong would make such a decision. This is Earthly Flame Forest? This is Dong clan's #1 resource point. It is tightly defended. Is this too aggressive? Fang Dichong smiled. Everyone, listen to me. The Earthly Flame Forest is not made of trees, but flame pillars from underground instead. That after reaching a breaking point, they will spew out of the surface and form into flames that resemble trees. That the cause is the fire path Dao vein underground. However, with the unification of 5 regions, the regional walls vanished and the earth veins relocated drastically. Thus, that fire path Dao vein is also shifting. Earlier, Dong clan set up an immortal formation there using the original location without any immortal Gu. Currently, it is at the breaking point. It is like a paper window that can be pierced with just one strike. And most crucially, the mission board of our alliance has changed. Earth path resource points are now exchanging for less contribution points, while wind path and fire path resource points have grown in value. Thus, by attacking this spot, we can gain even more contribution points. After the Fang clan immortals heard this, they understood that Fang Dichong had planned this after much preparation and consideration, as expected of Lord Fang Dichong. Fang Chun sighed. Since Second Supreme Elder has decided upon this, we will trust you. Fang and Lei expressed her view. Then let us take down this Earthly Flame Forest. Haha. Old Ghost by June was Fang clan's slave Gu immortal. He also showed his stance. I can't wait anymore. Fang Dong, she rubbed his palms together. Although he had revived and retained his rank 7 cultivation, his immortal aperture was empty and needed development earlier. When the Fang clansmen were sold, he had gone to Xiao Yihu for a transaction, but found that Wang Xiao heir had been bought already as for the other Fang clan members, because of Fang Dichang's words, to play it safe for now. They did not buy them. Several days later, the Fang clan moved out all at once, successfully assaulting Earthly Flame Forest. The Fang clan had a huge force now, while Dong clan had just lost their Red River Wheel. Dong clan's first supreme elder did not hesitate. He immediately requested for help from the other super forces that after Dong clan gathered many Gu immortals and several immortal Gu houses. They went to reinforce the resource point, but found that it was in a state of ruin and destruction. Fang clan had not just retreated and vanished into thin air. They even moved the entire mountain-like area of the Earthly Flame Forest, including the ground itself, into treasure yellow heaven. Western Desert's Gu immortals were shaken. The 5 regions' Gu immortals were stunned right when Dong clan's first supreme elder hesitated on whether to organize a second anti-Fang alliance. Fang clan struck again and targeted the other super forces' resource points. After succeeding, they easily retreated. The 5 regions went into an uproar. Western Desert's super forces started to become fearful. Everyone started to focus on defending themselves. Fang Yuan did not make a move on the 2 heavens grotto heavens from start to finish, but southern borders Wu clan and Western Desert's Fang clan had taken action instead. This was like giving Heavenly Court 2 slaps across the face, creating 2 loud sounds that resounded in the entire world. Chapter 2274. Beneath the heavens and above the earth, I am the most dazzling one in sight. Chapter 2274. Beneath the heavens and above the earth, I am the most dazzling one in sight. Heavenly Court, a star constellation immortal venerable, let out a breath of air. Her face was pale. She felt an intense weakness and fatigue spreading throughout her body. I finally created this formation. Now, it is time for our human path to develop rapidly. Star constellation immortal venerable looked at the derivation formation in front of her with much joy. After she refined all the wisdom path Tao marks in Heavenly Court, she did not set off immediately. Instead, she made use of the time to quickly set up the derivation formation. Although star constellation immortal venerable cultivated wisdom path and star path, she was not weak at setting up formations either. In fact, she was even more formidable than most rank 8 formation path experts. Of course, compared to legendary formation path grade experts, star constellation immortal venerable was still unable to compare to them in formation path alone. Regardless, with the full effort of star constellation immortal venerable, this derivation formation was finally completed. The core of this formation was rank 9 derivation immortal Gu. This was a legendary immortal Gu first recorded in The Legends of Rinzu. It was once obtained by Limitless Demon Venerable and used in his Crazed Demon formation as the core. But after the battle in Crazed Demon Cave, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable took this piece of truthful floating ice that contained derivation Gu. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable used Heavenly Court's Heaven Path research results to unseal the truthful floating ice and retrieve derivation Gu. Afterwards, she used derivation Immortal Gu as the main core to establish this formation around it. Limitless Demon Venerable used derivation Immortal Gu and the chaos outside the world to derive and create this truthful floating ice that did not belong to this world in essence. A star constellation Immortal Venerable used the essence of the Crazed Demon formation to create her own derivation formation that was meant to develop human path. The development of a path usually took over 100,000 or even millions of years and the effort of countless geniuses and talents. But using the derivation formation, the path's development soared like a rocket. It shot up towards the sky with one thrust. After inspecting the derivation formation, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable checked the various Wisdom Path killer moves that she used earlier. These Wisdom Path killer moves could block detection methods and conceal her derivation formation and also amplify Heavenly Court's defenses, although the core Immortal Gu of these moves were only rank 8. Under the amplification of Heavenly Court's Tao marks, even if the other Venerables attacked at full force, they could last for some time. After everything was done, Star Constellation Immortal Venerable took a rest. This was something that she barely did, but her immortal essence had been depleted to a great extent. Although her immortal aperture was developing, the rank 9 immortal essence production could not keep up with her expenditure. Furthermore, in order to create this rank 9 formation, because star constellation Immortal Venerable was not a formation path venerable, she had to use up a vast number of thoughts. Come to speak of it, ever since star constellation Immortal Venerable revived, she had not taken a proper rest. The contest of venerables gave her immense pressure. After 3 days passed, star constellation Immortal Venerable immediately went to settle heavenly court's affairs. Heavenly court's immortals and wills gathered for a discussion again. Qin Dingling came to report everything that had happened in the two heavens. Star constellation Immortal Venerable gave her some words of encouragement. The two of them, Qin Dingling and Jun Xinguang, had done a great job in recruiting most of the grotto heaven forces in the two heavens. As for the mysterious amplification of Qin Dingling's luck path killer move, star constellation Immortal Venerable also decided to spend some time to make deductions on it. Northern Plains had no significant events happening. The demonic cultivators were gathering together under the pressure of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. They were either recruited by the Huang Jin tribes or went to the side of Chu Du, Heavenly Lord Bai Zhu, and Fairy Black Moon. As for Wan Clan, Fang Clan created a commotion and attacked many of Western Desert's super forces with great success. Western Desert's righteous path was having a huge headache now. Wan Clan and the others were seeking help from Heavenly Court and Southern Border. Wu Yong created a commotion. He was already closed to Heavenly Court, but he suddenly changed attitude and joined the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. Star constellation Immortal Venerable rejected the request of sending help to Western Desert's righteous path, while mobilizing almost all of the Gu immortals in the central continent's 10 great ancient sects to create her star array calculation formation. Western Desert situation was mostly led by Wan Zihong and Zhou Xiong Xian. Fang Clan is just a small problem. How many resource points can Fang Clan plunder? In the case of the sovereign immortal aperture, it is too insignificant. The more Fang Clan attacks, the more clues they will leave behind. One day, their location will be exposed to us. Western Desert's righteous path is losing, but that is not the loss of our central continent's Heavenly Court. As for Southern Border's Wu Yong, let him go. Right now, Heavenly Court cannot send troops out yet. He is ambitious, but he is not even a pseudo-venerable. How many ambitious Gu immortals are there in the world? Only more will appear in the future. Right now, the fusion of two heavens has reached the most crucial moment. This is the natural development of the heavenly Tao. Now that spectral soul demon Venerable has lost his human nature, his actions are dictated by the nature of heaven. I have already deduced that there will be a huge change in the future. Central Continent needs to create the star array calculation formation to prepare for the future when the heavenly Tao undergo new changes. After star constellation Immortal Venerable's words, some Gu immortals pointed out their doubts. The creation of this formation is unprecedented in size and scale. I am worried that if we set it up without any concealment, the other venerables will attack. Star constellation Immortal Venerable smiled plainly. No worries. I have a plan. On the same day, Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects sent a large number of Gu immortals to gather above the sky of Central Continent. They started to place stars and arrange them according to the star array calculation formation. The number of Gu immortals involved and the height of their respective cultivation levels was simply unprecedented. Such a huge commotion immediately drew the attention of the Gu immortals of the 5 regions. It was clear that only star constellation Immortal Venerable had the ability to gather such a large number of people. The Gu immortals started to guess what ability was contained in this formation that star constellation Immortal Venerable was trying to build. That Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had already returned to longevity heaven. His gaze pierced through the ground and into the blood sea at the bottom. It was rumbling with huge waves. At the center of the blood sea, there was a huge whirlpool. It is finally time. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable nodded slightly. This blood sea had been hidden in longevity heaven all along. It was created by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's clone, Blood Sea Ancestor. He wanted to create a blood path secluded domain of heaven and earth. Blood Sea Ancestor left behind countless blood path inheritances, including 9 true inheritances he had naturally left. Behind the deepest profundities in longevity heaven, Blood Sea was one of them. Initially, this Blood Sea was small and of low quality, but after countless years of nurturing, it had already reached an impressive level. Before Giant Son, Immortal Venerable revived, he had already started making arrangements for Blood Sea. Blood Sea was very important for the current Giant Son, Immortal Venerable. Thus, he let his subordinate, who had the best Gu refinement ability, Yao Huang, stay here to control the overall situation. Immortal Killer Move. Destined Birth. Through luck, the Giant Son, Immortal Venerable activated this killer move. By combining the Luck Path method with Blood Sea, he could revive Gu immortals under the amplification of longevity. Heaven's Luck Path down marks. Golden light radiated heaven and earth, penetrating deep into Blood Sea. Every droplet of blood water was dyed golden in colored rumble. Blood waves rose and crashed as thunderous sounds erupted. The huge whirlpool at the center became more rapid and turbulent. Yao Huang had an exhausted expression. He had been guarding this place and using refinement path methods without rest. He was exerting his full effort without losing his concentration at all. Right now, he thought to himself with intense anticipation, Blood Sea has the power to revive people on its own. While Ancestor used his Luck Path killer move, Destined Birth, through luck, that with the combination of both, this Gu immortal who revives first will definitely be of great help and importance to our longevity heaven. Who will this person be? Boom! After reaching a certain limit, the blood waves exploded into a shocking tsunami of great height. The waves crashed into the huge whirlpool at the center from all directions, filling it up immediately. The Blood Sea became tranquil all of a sudden. It was still turbulent earlier, but became clear as a mirror now. The contrast was quite jarring. That suddenly, a pillar of light shot up from the sea. Next, more and more lights appeared. Over 1,000 light pillars pierced through the sea like dozens of sharp swords. A huge lump of light rose from Blood Sea like a miniature sun. This light was so dazzling that Yao Huang had to squint his eyes and use a killer move. But he still felt like his eyes were going blind. A Light Path Gu Immortal Expert. In history, which person with Huang gene bloodline fits this description? Almost instantly, a name appeared in Yao Huang's mind as the dazzling light faded away. A Gu immortal stayed floating in the air. He had no hair, but his body emitted intense light in all directions. He was like a person made of light. He pointed towards heaven and earth with both hands respectively as he shouted loudly, "Beneath the heavens and above the earth, I am the most dazzling one in sight." Yao Huang was deeply shocked. There's no mistake. With this tone and temperament, it has to be him. Ancestor's eldest son, the legendary Light Path cultivator who left his name in history. Pseudo-venerable, Light Emperor. At this moment, Light Emperor reacted as he looked at Yao Huang and asked, "I actually revived. Who are you?" "I am the current generation South Desolation Immortal, Yao Huang." "You revived me?" "I did." Giant Son Immortal Venerable spoke. "That father." Light Emperor was shocked. He blinked rapidly. "Oh, in that case, other than you, my father, in this world, I am the most dazzling." Cough, cough. Yao Huang interrupted. "The truth is, Light Emperor, in the current world, there are 4 venerables in existence, while 3 are in a deadlock." Light Emperor was stunned. He rubbed his chin. "Oh, in that case, other than the 4 venerables, I am the most dazzling person." "You are not the only pseudo-venerable, my son." Giant Son Immortal Venerable spoke again. Ah, damn it. Light Emperor rubbed his bald head. He could not frown without any eyebrows, but he still showed a bitter expression. "This era has many dazzling people, but it is not a problem. I am the Light Emperor after all. You were reborn at an opportune time. I have already checked that your fortuitous encounter is in the immemorial 2 heavens. Go there, my son." Giant Son Immortal Venerable's voice gradually became softer as he left. "Father, don't leave so hastily. Give me a few immortal Gu. How else can I shine brightly?" Light Emperor shouted, "Lord, don't worry. Ancestor has already prepared your immortal Gu." Yao Huang said as he flew over and handed him some Light Path Immortal Gu. Light Emperor was feeling quite vexed. "Just these? No wonder father left so quickly. It will be quite hard to dazzle everyone now." Chapter 2275. Another declaration from Fang Yuan. To think that Heavenly Court will arrange us to be here. Oomph, where else do you want to be? Inside Heavenly Court. Everyone, it is too late to turn back now. Now that we have joined Heavenly Court, we have no alternative but to obey them. Having internal strife now is very stupid. The leaders of the various grotto heavens like Old Immortal Huayu, Liang Jingjing, and Granny Skeleton gathered together. Some of their expressions were quite unsightly. After joining Heavenly Court, even though their grotto heavens had devoured immemorial 9 heavens fragments before, Heavenly Court still had an effective immortal aperture relocation method to use. But these grotto heavens suffered immense losses after a forceful relocation. Furthermore, most of them were now gathered in the 2 heavens above Central Continent. According to Heavenly Court, their grotto heavens were arranged in accordance with the star array calculation formation below. They were all treated as formation cores. Everyone, have you been well? Qin Dingling smiled and flew towards them. The grotto lords were all expressionless. Most of them were even snorting coldly. In the end, Old Immortal Huayu and Liang Jingjing were the ones to greet her. Qin Dingling understood the reason behind the emotions of these rank 8 Gu immortals. After these people joined Heavenly Court, not only did their grotto heavens suffer great losses, they were even used by star constellation Immortal Venerable as the cores of her star array calculation formation. This meant that if the 3 venerables fought in the future, when they try to break into the formation, these grotto heavens would be at the forefront to deal with such attacks. They could become sacrificial pieces if they were careless. Qin Dingling smiled as she spoke to Old Immortal Huayu and Liang Jingjing. Afterwards, her tone turned cold as she chided the rest. We've already explained it to you. Heavenly Court's righteousness comes at a price. If not for the fact that we removed your grotto heavens from the heaven vein nodes, will your homelands still exist now? The other immortals' expressions changed. Qin Dingling had not shown such an attitude when she went to recruit them back then. But now that she showed her true colors, the grotto lords had no choice but to endure IT's subordinates. They had no choice but to give in now. Especially for the first batch of Gu immortals like Granny Skeleton. Their grotto heavens were situated in immemorial Black Heaven. They were forced by the circumstances to join Heavenly Court like Old Immortal Huayu and the rest. Right now, it seemed that the other variant human grotto heavens were still left in the immemorial 2 heavens. Spectral Soul Demon Venerable only destroyed the grotto heavens in White Heaven. He did not do anything to those in Black Heaven. Granny Skeleton and others felt very regretful, but at this point, what could they do? After scolding these grotto lords, Qin Dingling saw that their expressions became more respectful. She snorted coldly. It seems that you've already woken up now. Come with me to meet Lady Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was not in Heavenly Court now. She refined Heavenly Court's Wisdom Path Tao marks and activated Wisdom Path methods to conceal the derivation formation. Afterwards, she left to refine the natural Wisdom Path Tao marks of Central Continent. But because of a shortage of immortal essence, and because her immortal aperture could not produce enough essence to keep up with the expenditure, she helped the Central Continent immortals with the arrangement of the star array calculation formation while resting. Under the lead of Qin Dingling, the 2 heavens grotto lords met with Star Constellation Immortal Venerable in the sky above Central Continent. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable was currently inside Embroidered Tower. She used Tao embroidery personally to weave Wisdom Path and Star Path Tao marks in the surrounding 10,000 li, creating a beautiful work of art. After the Fate War, Reckless Savage Demon Venerable's method was obtained by Fang Yuan. After Star Constellation Immortal Venerable revived, she quickly modified and changed Embroidered Tower. Right now, not only was Embroidered Tower complete, it also became more profound and powerful. After personally seeing Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's incredible method, the grotto lords were deeply shaken. They paid their respects, seeing them kneel in midair. The Gu immortals of Central Continent's 10 great ancient sects who were setting up the formation became very enthusiastic and motivated. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable gave them a light gaze. She sensed their complex emotions. There was unease among most of them. Some also felt angry and indignant about their predicament. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable consoled them expressionlessly. Friends, you are all humans. Having been freed from the demonic grasp of Eastern Sea, it is a great victory for humanity. Ever since ancient times, Heavenly Court has been the sacred land of humanity. It is the greatest homeland of everyone. No matter what your ancestors did that caused them to hide in the immemorial two heavens, Heavenly Court will not hold you accountable. Let the past remain in the past. Don't worry, Heavenly Court treats everyone equally. Whoever makes contributions will be fairly rewarded by Heavenly Court. In the future, your glory of having joined Heavenly Court will also be passed on to your descendants. Old immortal Huayu and the rest were still kneeling. After hearing her words, they expressed their gratitude and praised Heavenly Court's righteousness. They declared their loyalty and confidence in Heavenly Court. Eastern Sea. Fang Yuan looked at the rank 9 immortal goo recipe of heavenly secret goo as he let out a breath of turbid air. This immortal goo recipe was very different from before. Originally, the rank 9 immortal goo recipe of heavenly secret came from the truthful floating ice. It was part of limitless demon Venerable's foundation. He had obtained it from digesting the chaos outside the world. That was to say, within the heavenly Tao of this goo world, there was no rank 9 heavenly secret GU.I in order to pursue eternal life. Limitless Demon Venerable digested the chaos and gained many results that surpassed the current heavenly Tao. Rank 9 heavenly secret immortal goo was one of his gains. This was a great achievement indeed, but there was still room for improvement. After all, Limitless Demon Venerable died long ago. Even though he revived earlier, he was not a refinement path venerable. In terms of refinement path, Fang Yuan was the #1 person throughout history. None of the venerables could match him. Thus, using his own refinement path attainment, Fang Yuan modified this immortal goo recipe to a higher level. It was truly exemplary beyond the limit of the world. Right now, Fang Yuan had a clear understanding of heavenly secret. This was in essence a heaven path goo worm, but Fang Yuan had once thought it was wisdom path. This immortal goo was created by Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. At that time, he already possessed heaven path attainment. Afterwards, heavenly secret immortal goo was refined by Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's split soul, Old Man Yanshi. It was destroyed on Etian Mountain. Now, heavenly secret immortal goo was refined and owned by Fang Yuan. He had refined it using the refinement path killer move heavenly light ring. By activating heavenly secret immortal goo, one could peek into the intention of heaven's will. It could allow the goo immortal to get an answer from heaven and earth. There were no events in the world that heaven and earth did not know of. It was as the saying goes, except you and me, only heaven and earth know. It could expose the secrets of heaven and earth. Even if the goo immortal did not have any evidences or clues, it could directly lead them to the truth. But heavenly secret had a weakness when using it. Out of 10 activations, at least 8 would fail. Once the activation fails, the user would suffer a backlash of 10 to 70 years of lifespan. This weakness was actually created because people did not understand the true essence of heavenly secret goo. Heavenly secret goo was a heaven path immortal goo. A heaven path cultivator needed enough heaven path Tao marks to be able to activate it normally. When activating heavenly secret goo, not only was immortal essence needed, one also had to expend heaven path immortal materials. This was like Fang Yuan's obscured heavenly secret. Without using heaven path immortal materials, heavenly secret goo could still be activated successfully. But the price was that the amount of heaven path immortal materials needed for the next activation would be much higher. This was why backlashes occurred that took the goo cultivator's lifespan. Lifespan goo was a heaven path goo worm. The lifespan of goo cultivators were actually heaven path Tao marks. Looking back at it, Old Man Yanshi did not truly understand heavenly secret goo, but this was a normal thing. Paths developed over time. The essence of goo worms was also explored and understood when using them. Understanding something required a process that took time. With this immortal goo recipe, I can now advance my heavenly secret goo. Fang Yuan did not lack heaven path immortal materials. This was due to the unprecedented appearance of abundant heaven path immortal materials when the two heavens fused together. Xinshang, who was in charge of collecting heaven path immortal materials, worked very hard. Earlier, because Fang Yuan wanted his human path cultivation gains, but he only gave a portion of it. He felt very uneasy. For the sake of his clan and himself, he had to work very hard as compensation. As long as I refine rank 9 heavenly secret goo, the power of obscured heavenly secret will rise sharply. The two venerables will continue to be deceived. But before that, I need to make another declaration. Almost all the human grotto heavens in the two heavens had joined heavenly court, while the variant human grotto heavens that remained in immemorial white heaven were wiped out by spectral soul demon venerable. Regarding this, Fang Yuan had to express himself. Fellow cultivators from the 5 regions and 2 heavens, I am great love, immortal venerable. Firstly, I want to give my blessings to the human immortals who joined heavenly court. Rest assured, I will not pursue the matter. How can I, great love immortal venerable, do something so petty? Regarding the destruction of the grotto heavens in immemorial white heaven, I am deeply sorry. Not long ago, I was hit by star constellation immortal venerable scheme and could not go to deal with spectral soul demon venerable personally. I have already sent my people to arrange for the retreat of grotto heavens. No matter what, I believe firmly that this world needs love and peace. War is something that harms all of us, be it humans or variant humans, or even all life in the world. Why can't we all live in peace? Because of my beliefs, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable entrusted his inheritance to me. With such an aspiration, the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance was established. It is not a super force meant for world domination. It is the homeland of everyone. It is an attempt at peace for everyone in this world. Because of the actions of the 2 heavens grotto heavens, I reflected upon myself. I know that I was wrong. I was too restricted by traditions and the mindset passed down in history. Thus, I have decided, from today onwards, the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance is open to everyone. I will abolish all restrictive agreements. Everyone is free to join and leave at any time. I, Great Love Immortal Venerable, make this declaration here and now to heaven and earth. I will not pursue the matter if you leave. Even if you do not join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance, I will still refine goo for you. Transactions will be done fairly. Members who join my Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance will receive a 20% discount for goo refinement requests. That's right, 20%, a full 20% discount. You heard it from me personally. As for how to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance, very simple. You just need to pay a membership fee. In fact, even the fee that you pay will be converted into contribution points in the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance. In the future, when you request to refine goo, you can use these contribution points in place of goo refinement materials. Oh Yang Jing Jing, I did not take your light heaven out of greed. I have already converted it into contribution points for you. To the human goo immortals who have decided to join Heavenly Court instead, I wish you well. You are welcome to join the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance anytime you want. I will not mind your status at all. Remember, the Heaven and Earth Great Love Alliance promotes freedom, fairness, and peace. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, the 2 heavens human goo immortals, treasure yellow heaven.